What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Berm, and today we are going to be talking about the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl leaks. I'm here live with the Thursday night crowd. We're on stream. We're streaming live right now. I want to get people's opinions because there's been a lot of hate regarding the BDSP leaks. Then there was a patch that was rolled out that people seemed to be happy about. And I just want to talk through all of it because I have so many opinions about it. And I haven't had an outlet yet this week to really get to talk about it and my own personal beliefs regarding it. When they originally published the first mix of the game, it included like MIDI files. Basically, what you need to know is really crappy audio files, super small audio files that have really basic instrumentation, so that it was small and people assumed, oh, it was just rushed, you know. The patch has since corrected that, and the audio today was much, much better for people who have the game and downloaded the patch, and it just revamped all of the audio. The audio was always going to be patched in. The original leaked copy of the game did not have that patch, and so it was just the original MIDI files that they used during development. Thing is, you don't think perfect music in games isn't uncommon. Usually these things will be adjusted in a day one patch, so you find it weird that it's sometimes something that people are really jumping on. I don't think that Pokemon fans play a lot of other games, and I think in some ways there's like sort of a starry-eyed glaze over some of the Pokemon fans. There's also like things like this where they don't understand that this is a common thing that happens where music is patched in a day one patch and people just sort of run with it. Like, this is crazy. How can they do this? It's like, well, that's actually common. You're just not aware of it because you don't play a lot of other games. Tell me I'm nuts, but it feels like half of the base plays Pokemon only, or like Mario, or other Nintendo games, Smash Bros, whatever. And half of the fan base, plays other stuff, and it has more of an understanding around some of this stuff. But yeah, don't worry about the MIDI files. That has been deconfirmed. They are not doing the MIDI files. It is full instrumentation. Do not worry. It was not a mistake. It was always intended to be that way. There's new sprites for the Pokemon that are some sort of mix between the styling of Sword and Shield and what their original sprites were in Diamond and Pearl. Mix as in like it is the technology and the stylization of Sword and Shield, right? That's it. There's like a 3D sort of like softer model, and it's not a sprite, it's a model. Maybe it is a sprite. I don't exactly know the definitive difference between those two things, but they're within the same poses. They modeled the sprites after the poses. And I believe when I say sprites, I believe that where this is showing up is in the Pokédex, in the like in the party selection, in the box selection, things like that. They created a whole new list. I mean, only generations 1 through 4. Spoilers. But they created new sprites for these things, which I think is very cool and very fun. We're going to talk about it more. There's a lot of nostalgia throwback that I'm very pleased with regarding some of the elements of this game that were never announced. Oh, so this is a very important thing that has changed. Enabling the following Pokemon feature. Not the following Pokemon feature as in the Pokemon feature I'm about to talk about. The feature in which Pokemon follow behind you in the overworld. It's the equivalent to turning on easy mode for BDSP. That is something that Centro Leaks is specifically wording. That is not what it's called. What Centro Leaks is basically saying is that walking with a Pokemon behind you maxes out their affection for you. Or what's it called now? It's called friendship. It maxes out their friendship much faster, which basically results in what this has been taken down. 25% chance of enduring an attack that would make you faint, holding on at 1%. 20% chance of shaking off a status conditions every turn, 10% chance to dodge attacks, double chance of critical hits, 1.2 times experience boost. The bad news is, if you're somebody who's a Pokemon fan who wants the game to be harder, it seems like what you're going to have to do is not have Pokemon follow you. Because if you have Pokemon not follow you, then you won't have these added buffs to what your experience in the game is going to be. Which stinks because obviously it's fun to have Pokemon follow you around. The good news is that there's some way to regulate that. Even if it is, I can't participate in the having Pokemon follow behind me, there is sort of, you know, weirdly a switch that allows you to turn on and off this like passive friendship building RNG to make the game easier, boosting mechanic to make things harder for people who might want the game to be a little bit harder. It makes the plethora of happiness evolutions that Gen 4 had easier to do, because that was hard to do in the originals. That's very true. It's going to be easier to evolve your Togepi, easier to evolve your Badoo, easier to evolve your Riolu. We have Chibi Cyrus walking around. I think it's interesting because we do find out that there's like the cutscenes, the story cutscenes happen in Chibi mode, including stuff like on Mount Coronet. I think that that's a miss. I think that that's something that, if I'm going to talk negatively about the leaks, about, you know, the game in general based on the leaks, I think that it, you know, you're making the full length, the full size trainer models for the battling, not menus, the battle scenes, right? Why not have them be what's included in the, I mean, obviously it's easier, right, to animate and put the text boxes for cutscenes in this overworld style that they're going with, but I mean, the game is about disrupting time and space. The game is about taking over the world by capturing the time or space Pokemon. That's some deep, dark stuff. And we're going to watch all of that go down in the Chibi overworld. I think that, like, after a while, it's going to, like, be a funny thing to remember. And it's something that I'm not going to ultimately care about very much. But in my first game through, or playthrough, I am going to laugh at it. And I am going to be a little bit disappointed that it wasn't in the full-sized models that they have. We find out that, in fact, yes, confirmed, gym leaders have the same Pokemon they have in Diamond and Pearl, which means that Volkner has Octillery, his best electric Pokemon. Very fun for people who are fans of Octillery. Gym puzzles are also based on DP, so the gyms themselves are based on, if there's any changes in Platinum, that won't be it. It'll be based on whatever the Diamond and Pearl gyms were. No Platinum exclusive characters. That means like the battle facility people. Spoilers! There's no Battle Frontier. Movesets have changed, right, to update. There's new Pokemon get new moves based on what wasn't available back then. I know that Chat Talk gets Parting Shot now. People were talking about that. Yeah, movesets have changed and been updated, which is nice. Just the Pokemon themselves are the same as the trainers had them in the original games. And Pokemon now have different cries when fainting, which is very interesting. A slightly different cry when fainting. I feel like that might have been a thing in the GameCube games, which were made by a different company. But that's interesting and fun, and adds to the you know, variety in the game. And the original Diamond and Pearl HM's not a thing in this game, at least in move form, are now TMs, which we could assume that's happened before too. And TMs are single use again, but trainers like gym leaders give you multiple. And I also did see a screenshot from a shop in which you can exchange BP for TMs. So they basically, TMs are now TRs. They're one use, but you can get a lot of them. So it's not one Thunderbolt per playthrough. Don't worry. You can still play music notes with your gym badges. Something I didn't know until the remake leaks came out, that you were always able to do that, apparently. And you can customize the dialogue window border like the original games. That's nice. No Distortion World in BDSP. Important to note. However, there's a new room where you can catch Giratina that's inspired by it and is visually stunning. I don't think that's actually true. I think that what they discovered was that there's a bunch of rooms where you can interact with legendaries, but for Giratina specifically, I think that you go and find the Grecius orb in that room, but that Giratina is in its original place that it's in Diamond and Pearl, which is called, it has a name, but it's like that cave. The cave, Not the Cave of Origin. That's Kyogre and Groudon. Turnback Cave. That is what it's called. Well done, chat. Looks like it is really just the DP decks, not the Platinum decks. But the Rotom forms are included. And Giratina's, both of Giratina's forms are included. Any new Pokemon, like the 1 or 2 new Pokemon or the 1 or 2 new forms in Platinum are in the game. So you don't have to worry about that. But the Pokédex is Diamond and Pearl. But that's not true. Because of the Grand Underground. Which at this point in the leaking, I don't think that they'd explored that very much yet. But I think that it is Gen 1 through Gen 4 can make it into this game. Whether you can find them in the game or not, I'm not sure. But I believe they're all in the Pokedex, meaning that you can at least transfer them from home when that's a thing that's possible. Pal Park is now called Ramanas Park. You still need to get the National Dex before being able to access most post-game areas. When they say get the National Dex, they mean see every Pokemon. That was the thing in Diamond and Pearl. You had to see every Pokemon, which if you battled every trainer, you would. You would see every Pokemon. I think that that's what is being talked about there. The Battle Tower modes are single battles, double battles, Masterclass single battles, and Masterclass double battles. So they do add like a hard mode in the Battle Tower. Not bad. BDSP doesn't have an intro or opening movie. It's just a black screen. This is not true. This has been patched in. There is an opening cutscene and movie and stuff. This is another example of people freaking out way too early. It was patched in. Do not worry about that. If you played Sword and Shield and you have a Sword and Shield save file on your Switch when you play Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, you will get access to Jirachi by talking to a specific NPC. If you have Let's Go Pikachu or Eevee saves on your Switch and you talk to, I believe, the same NPC, you get Mew. I believe if you have both, you'll get both in just one game. It's not like Diamond has exclusive Jirachi if you have Sword and Shield, and Pearl has exclusive Mew if you have Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. What I would like to know is who is this NPC and how did they catch a Jirachi and a Mew and why are they just giving them away? Black market? Don't know. We can now confirm that there's only data for the first 493 Pokemon. No Sylveon. No Sylveon. Floaroma Town for the Mythicals, you believe. I believe that's true as well. Funny that Sylveon didn't make it considering Mystery Dungeon added all the new evolutions that weren't around originally. That is true. There were a lot of them, though. There were a lot more of them when the cutoff was Gen 3 because all of those Sinnoh Pokemon, all of those Sinnoh evolutions were introduced in Sinnoh from previous gens. I think that Sylveon's the only one, right? Is there another Pokemon that's from pre-Gen 4 that evolved after Gen 4 that didn't evolve before? I don't think so. Not if you, like, there's Pokemon who got, like, regional variants and different forms and stuff, but nobody evolved again or differently or anything like that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's true. Megas are not in, Alolan forms are not in, Galarian forms are not in. Obviously. Anybody who's upset about this, we knew. We were never promised, and we shouldn't have assumed. There was no point in which you should assume that that was going to happen. People who did hurt themselves. Here is an actual huge one, and you might not know what this means, but we'll talk about it a little bit more. Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl are made on the Unity engine. I don't know a ton about this kind of thing, but what I know is that the Unity engine is incredibly moddable. It's incredibly ROM hackable. And Pokemon games aren't normally made on this, or maybe some have been made in the past, but it was not the expectation that this game was going to be made on the Unity engine. And what this might result in is people being able to add in Megas and add in Alolan forms and Galarian forms and Pokemon that are after Gen 4 into Diamond and Pearl, making entire new mods of the game that have different stories. Somebody was saying there's potential, I think it might have been Moxie. I think it might have been Moxie Boosted, who was talking about, like, there's potential because it's on the Unity engine that if it's possible to somehow get emulators to hook up in peer-to-peer communication, this game could end up being a way for people to basically play Showdown and just type in their Pokemon and make their teams, but with the graphics, and make the Pokemon and play them on the battle system of BDSP with all the aesthetics and everything. That is not confirmed. That is not promised. However, it is being talked about as possible, and potentially more possible than ever before, which, even if you think this game ends up being ass, I think that you might end up being like, well, thank God that game came out, because there's a lot of potential there, which I think is really cool. Not everybody plays ROM hacks. Not everybody plays. I haven't played anything on the Switch that's like hacked or anything just like that yet, but I'd look into it. I would look into it. Seems like there's data for all abilities up to Calirex. That does not confirm anything, but maybe in the original coding of the game, they didn't know how many Pokemon they wanted to put in it. And they included all the abilities, and maybe that's like a very easy thing to do. I don't entirely know, but Grim Neigh is in the game. Calirex is the only Pokemon that has that ability, and Calirex is not currently confirmed for the game whatsoever. Maybe in future patches if they patch this game, but here's a fun thing. Somebody went in and highlighted all the items and their sprites, and there's a new item called GB Sounds. It also confirms that they use all of the Global Link and Dream World art for the items, which is very fun, because those were not sprites I ever thought I'd see again, but they're fun and they're cute and they're little. And they have Nature Mints, ability patches, Dream Beast Park Balls, and oh, what's this? Similar to Heart Gold Soul Silver's GB Sounds key item, BDSP features DS sounds. I believe that this means that you can alter the sounds in the game to be more like the original sounds, which is fun for people who want even more nostalgia. This is another one of those nostalgia things that I'm talking about. Fan service. And ability patches and nature mints are in this game. Man, this is the first time that was confirmed, and it's very, very important, because it makes the game easier to get legitimate teams without hacking them in. I'm not somebody who's necessarily against hacking things in, but it would be a darn shame if people had to hack them in because there was no way to get the right ability besides breeding. That would suck. That would suck. That would suck. But we don't got to worry about that because there's nature mints, baby. And here's all these new items. These are new slates and shards and different things that allow you to get places. I think the Digger Drill is probably what gets you to the underground. Mysterious Shard S and L, I don't know what those are. But all of these slates are going to be things that you can use, and we'll look at pictures of them later because they're very, very fun. And I think they were officially announced too, the slates. To go into this new special park, go into these special rooms. Oh god, this has 666 likes. And battle against old Pokemon. It's a lot like the Hoopa rings in Oris, but you can use the Johto slate to go battle Lugia or Ho-Oh. You can use the Oceanic slate to go battle Kyogre, which is kind of cool because it gives them a little bit of their own feeling and vibe, and the room is decorated like the Pokemon. Kind of fun and cool. There's currently 826 moves in Pokemon. Out of these, BDSP has support for 512 moves. There are 314 moves that have been removed. Most moves that were removed in Sword and Shield are still removed. However, Hidden Power is back. I don't think it was. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought that I saw something that said Hidden Power is still not back. The GTS is now a Wonder Trade station. Oh, by the way, with these moves, I'm thinking like a lot of these 314 moves that have been removed are like signature moves of like truly. There have been so many signature moves now in Pokemon that only one Pokemon get, especially in new Pokemon starting in like Gen 5. So a lot of these moves are going to just be like signature moves that if the Pokemon's not in the game, the move's not in the game. I think other stuff probably has been removed, which is not like the biggest thing in the world, because moves have been added since the original Diamond and Pearl. Because there's currently 826 moves in Pokemon. Well, how many were there in Gen 4? You know, half of Pokemon's existence ago. Not that many. I wish they'd listed that here, because I bet we'd probably get closer to that number. They're probably going to patch the BDSP Pokemon into Sword and Shield. I think there's a good chance of that. I do. I'm still skeptical about the new Pokemon in Legends Arceus, but I would guess that early next year we might see a patch or an update to Sword and Shield in which, you know, Pokemon throughout Gen 1 through 4 that were not already in Sword and Shield, and I think there's only a couple of them at this point. I don't think it's that many Pokemon, honestly. Notable ones, though, are like the Gen 2 starters. I think they might make it into Sword and Shield. Mysterious Shards in the Ground Underground can be traded for slates. You can then use the slates in Ramanas Park to encounter legendary Pokemon. So that's what those shard items were. Verse Seeker and Trainer rematches are in there. Both Darkrai and Shaman events are in BDSP. Arceus is not. Although I believe the Arceus event is rumored, / maybe it was found in the coding, that it might be an update. At some point there might be an update that's like free DLC Arceus event. Jirachi and Mew are shiny locked, unfortunately, but also fortunately, because people aren't going to sit there and have to wait to see if they get a shiny. Worth mentioning that the starters won't display as shiny in the cutscene, but they are not shiny locked. You can catch the starters as shinies from the jump. They just won't show up as shinies when you're hovering over their Pokeball going to choose a starter. But once you get them, they will appear as shiny if they are shiny, because they can be shiny. Here we go. Okay. So Hidden Power, I think, is actually back. But Return is not back, Frustration is not back, Pursuit is not back, and Heal Order is not back. Didn't know Heal Order went anywhere, but it's not back. Okay, so stop asking about Heal Order, everybody. You wish the shinies were shown in the overworld, like Let's Go. John, they are when they follow you. When a shiny Pokemon is following you in your party, it is shiny. This is the Twinkling Star ribbon. It does not introduce any new marks, but there's one brand new ribbon, I believe, for obtaining all of the best all wins in all categories of the Pokemon contest. That's fun. I don't know if it creates any special text when you throw out your Pokemon like a mark does, or like ribbons do. And if it does, then I might do it. And if it doesn't, then I probably won't. Here's all the new outfits. Not going to go through them. I'd kind of like to discover them throughout the game, but that's all of it. There's more customization than Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Let's just say that. But it is sort of weird that the trainer models themselves are just the same trainer with different skin tones. I think that you can maybe change that up a little bit. And here are all the stickers, the ball capsule seals, but you don't get the letters like the Unknown in the original games. I think that makes sense. I was not expecting to get letters because people spelled inappropriate things. Can you use ball capsules in online battles? Can people see your ball capsule in online battles? Because if so, there's some real potential for some really just dumb fun in that. I would love to see it. I'd love to catch a Pokemon with a mark if that shows up. And, you know, have it be like the Charizard, the Sodden, and then have it like rain on the Charizard with the ball capsule. You know, stuff like that. Like, it would just be fun. Caterpie the Thunderstruck, and then electric shoots out of it. I think that would be a very, very fun addition to online battling. Catch a lot of Pokemon outside the Sinnoh Pokedex during your playthrough, because the Grand Underground is accessible before post-game, which means you can play through Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl with a fire Pokemon on your team, everybody. Here's what I saw that made me believe that Hidden Power was not in the game. Hidden Power might be in the game, but might only be learned by Pokemon who have it in their Learn set, which is much, much different than it being a TM. It might be in the game, but it might not be a TM, which means that most Pokemon cannot learn it. All Pokemon could learn it before. Most Pokemon cannot learn it now, I think. Because Hidden Power is now Work Up, Frustration is now Dazzling Gleam, Return is now Low Sweep, Secret Power is now Volt Switch, Snatch is now Scald, Silver Wind is now Bug Buzz, Embargo is Nasty Plot, Captivate is Snarl, and Natural Gift is Bulldoze. All of the moves listed here, besides Hidden Power, are not moves anymore. Those are not moves that were in Sword and Shield. Hidden Power was not in Sword and Shield, but an earlier tweet did say that Hidden Power was in the game. I don't think it's a TM, though. Hidden Power will be an unknown exclusive. I think that might be true. Like, Pokemon like Ralts might get Hidden Power, too. Or maybe Abra gets it. I don't know why that's in my mind. Somebody else might learn it. But it's also possible that nobody else learns it. Okay. Let's talk about this, because it seems like the ROM for both Diamond and Pearl is the same, and you can easily change it to the other version via a patch and changing some of the file bytes. This sucks. Because what this means is that if you are going to buy both versions of this game, you are paying $60 for what seems to be a couple of bytes. And that sucks. Pokemon has always released multiple versions so that people feel like they have to buy both to get all the Pokemon. I've never bought both. Sometimes as a kid, I would get both as presents, you know, different sides of the family. I think in one case, I may have gotten 2 gold versions by accident. I was lucky as a child to even receive gifts in video games. But the fact that it's now that it's like in a digital world and you can just download it and whatever, like the fact that it's just a couple of bytes and that they're actually just packaged on the same cartridge or the same download file, and that you can just switch them with a couple of, like, you know, I mean, that might explain why the download size is 8 gigabytes. If they're both on the same thing and it's just that you're locked onto one of them when you buy it, but that if they really wanted to, they could switch it to the other one. Like that's, they're charging you a lot more to make that quick little, oh, we're just going to flick this switch for you. It's a lot. But that seems to be the case right now. And, you know, maybe with these mods and stuff, it'll be possible to just like quickly be able to do that yourself. Maybe, I don't know. Currently, no idea what these 2 locations are: Pure Space and Strange Space. They don't seem to have any other references in the text. Interesting. Square shinies are gone, but I think with the square shiny animation, I think somebody put a comparison, and it might have even been Centro who did it, that there are actually different shiny, like the stars come out in different patterns. Not that you'd be able to notice that with your naked eye, you know, just looking at them real quick. But I think that that's a thing. And I don't even know if it stays the same from battle to battle. Gym Leader rematches are in the game. Very fun. We see that, what's his face? Rourke has a level 68 Tyranitar. This is where some of the hard mode comes in. In the post game, you can rebattle people and they have much, much better teams. Competitive teams. 6 Pokemon to your party member team, which has never, that hasn't been a thing since Gen 1. That a trainer in the game, even in the post game, would have a team of 6 Pokemon. It might have been in other games, but it feels that way. Post-game rematches are really, really hard. All gym leaders have 6 Pokemon with competitive moves and items, and they have EVs and IVs and stuff. It's legit. Main game, Weenie Hut Jr. Post-game, Salty Splatoon. Persian, knocking it out of the park with these references tonight. How tough am I? I battled Cynthia twice without any milk. Oh, you are able to pass egg moves from Pokemon to Pokemon of the same species via the breeder, which was introduced in Sword and Shield. And it is reflected in BDSP. Very, very helpful. Very, very good. Again, another quality of life addition to make team building easier. From what we've seen, team building should be just as easy in BDSP as it was in Sword and Shield, which is the easiest it's ever been. Are there things they could do to make it even easier? Of course. But it's nice to see that they at least wanted to keep that going in BDSP, even if it's not going to be the official format for competitive, which I actually think is great. Multiple multiplayer features won't be available with the day one patch, and we'll have to wait for a future update. That might just include the Grand Underground and playing with your friends. I don't exactly remember what I saw about that. Not the hugest deal in the world if it's not day one. It needs to be quick, but I'm not ready to battle people online until like a week in. So I hope that it's that quick if it does affect battles, online battles, and matchmaking. Here are the little like marks for all the different games that your Pokemon can be from. So there will be connectivity to get Pokemon from your Visual Boy Advance, your this is BDSP, I assume. That's Legends Arceus. There's at least that content's in there. They have not confirmed that they will be able to make that possible, but it seems, based on the content that's in there, that you will be able to do that. Like in Sword and Shield, shiny overworld Pokemon in BDSP won't be displayed until shiny until the battle starts. So Psyduck is yellow here, but once you enter the battle, that girl blue. Speedrunners, this is important. In the original cut of the game, before that patch, that will be included in every digital copy of the game, the HP bar goes down super, super fast. So if you're a speedrunner of the game, there actually is a way to get the physical copy, never update it, and that'll result in super fast draining HP bars. And if you're speedrunning this game, you need to have that or else you're not going to be able to compete. That's interesting. Here are the sprites for all of the slates. And this is some more of that fan service. Lovely, lovely, lovely nostalgia content. The slates are shaped after the original game that you caught that Pokemon in, which is just delightful. I mean, look at especially those Game Boy Advanced ones. The Kyogre Groudon Rayquaza, I mean, it looks so good and it's so fun and I love it. I love it. The little DS cartridges, it's just very, very cute. To your surprise, BDSP 1.1 adds resources for every sprite from the original Diamond and Pearl. Wonder where it's used. So the original DP sprites were added in a patch, but they haven't confirmed where those are used just yet. Interesting. Poke Radar is in this game, and they can have their hidden abilities when found in the wild. So that'll be how you get hidden ability Pokemon. None of which I'll be using in my initial teams, because that sounds hard and time-consuming. So maybe not in the original teams, but eventually I'll have to get Volt Absorb Pachirisu. And for those wondering, yes, you can still feed your Pokemon more than one vitamin at a time, and you're not capped at 100 EVs per stat, just like Sword and Shield. So the vitamins work the same. I'm assuming if that works the same as Sword and Shield, they're also 10 EVs rather than, I think the original one was 6. I can't remember what the original value of a vitamin was, but now it's 10. Now it's 10, I think. Swarm encounters now give you a very obvious visual indicator that they're in your current area. This is new content. In the video, Spinda is the current swarm encounter on Route 227, so the game informs you by showing them a ton of them in the tall grass. They are not symbol encounters. I don't know what that means exactly, but this is super interesting and cool. Especially because I don't think Spinda was catchable in the grass. Maybe via Poke Radar in Diamond and Pearl. I don't totally remember, but that's interesting. And it's a quality of life thing and kind of fun. Because otherwise, other than this swarm situation, I don't believe wild Pokemon are in the overworld. I think that's only in the Grand Underground. But something interesting and new. Here's the Dark Giratina battle in the Distortion Room. Don't know what that means, but that's fun. Shadow Giratina battle event at the Distortion Room. You have to defeat it to get the Gracious Orb, but you can't catch it. So there is sort of a boss battle element to getting the Gracious Orb. And we do have Jasmine and Joanna, which Jasmine is in Diamond and Pearl, weirdly. But she there. And there's Joanna, which I think is your mom. Mom? And this is a screenshot that says Arceus. I don't know, man. It looks like Arceus. It kind of looks like something different, though, too, right? It's got the thing that Arceus has on its back, but it's not the shape of Arceus. Like, this could be... I think if there's anything in this leak system that alludes to, like, some sort of tie-in to Legends Arceus, it's whatever this image is. This could be a different form of Arceus, is what I'm saying to you. I'm not promising anything. I'm just saying that if anything here is any indication of... There are no megas. There are no regional variants. Nothing that people, were loftily hoping for. But this might be like a little Easter egg. This might be something that's like, hey, if you caught this, just wait till February, friends. Here's what Rayquaza looks like in the overworld when it's following you. Kind of adorable. Like, I wouldn't, like, after seeing this, it makes me mad that, like, Pokemon in the overworld are not to scale like they are in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, which came out truly over 10 years ago. But this kind of does make me wish that Arceus had, like, a baby form. Or maybe just, like, a different form where it was small normally, and then when it started to battle, it got big. But this is, that's real cute. I'm not a fan of the chibi style. But I'm kind of digging chibi Rayquaza right there. Oh, no. Oh, no. I have not seen this yet. 20 minutes timer is back. Is this what we're ending on? Is this what we're ending on? Oh, gosh. I had not seen this leak yet, and now I'm looking at it right now. Online, this is okay. Online Battles has a hidden 20-minute timer that can't be modified or turned off. Once the battle timer reaches 20 minutes, the battle ends. That's the reason the single format is dead. 20 minutes is not enough for a 6v6 battle. That's just outlining how things are. That did not give me any information that I wanted to hear. Oh boy. It does seem like this is the 20-minute battle timer. 20-minute timer is back. I mean, okay. It makes me wonder, like, if there's any hope possibly that this is just a battle mode and there's other ways to have like an unrestricted battle mode so that you can play with, oh, somebody can bring 3 Giratinas and 14 Deoxyses, but there's no timer. And then you would just set your own rules and be like, no legendaries, OU basically, right? And then you would just play in that unrestricted battle format so that you can play without a battle timer. But if it is like 20-minute cap total all the time, that sucks. That sucks. Yeah, so that's it. That's the bulk of the leaks. I think that a lot of the hate surrounding the BDSP leaks happened before that first patch came through. I think that the game looks a lot more finished and complete after just this first patch, and there will be more patches. So I think that different things will happen there. I think a lot of the hate also comes from people having overblown expectations, as is the case with many games in general, but especially Pokemon games. And I think that this is like a really it's going to be a fun, faithful remake of Diamond and Pearl, in which you can catch all the Gen 1 through 4 Pokemon. Has a really nice battle system aesthetically. I think that I really like what the battles look like, and so that's really all I care about because that's where I'm going to be spending most of my time. And the things that I think are warranted are hate regarding the slight difference in coding between Diamond and Pearl and them both just being on the same ROM, that feels shady to me. Don't like that really at all. At all. And there was one other thing that I had a gripe about. Oh, the cutscenes being in the chibi overworld. I think that those probably could have been... Pokemon has a thing with cutscenes recently where everything is just a little bit weird. And they don't go the extra distance to, like, change your facial expression in a cutscene, even when it's a really dramatic moment. And I mean, I could make a whole rant about that, but it just doesn't seem like they're trying to change that anytime soon. So that's sort of like a long-term kind of issue that I've had. But those two things aside, I really think that the game's going to be fun. And I'm just going to enjoy playing it. And I can't promise that everyone will get their $60 worth out of this game. But I think the people who are fans of Gen 4 and who are like Pokemon fans, and myself included, you're going to get your $60 worth out of this game because, I mean, I'm just going to play the hell out of it. Here's the plan. I think what I would love to do, I need to see if the game is going to come out before midnight next Thursday night. If it doesn't, I'm probably not going to stream next Thursday night. And I'll probably just stream like all day Friday. There are times where I may just throw up a be right back screen. And there may be times where I just turn off my camera and I turn off my audio. But you can still hear the in-game audio and I'll just be playing, but you'll just be watching the gameplay happen that I'm controlling on the other side. I just won't be able to comment on it. The reason I'd be doing that is because something else may be happening in my house where I'm not able to engage and be loud and do all that stuff. But I still want to play the game and get it done as quickly as possible. Enjoy it, but get it done as quickly as possible so that I can get to the competitive, the content creating side of the game. Because I know that that's what the channel wants to see. And that's what I want to be able to do as fast as possible. But I also want people to be able to watch the gameplay. If they're thinking about getting the game, they don't know exactly yet, and they want to watch me play through it, I think that'd be fun. I think I'd like to make a deal with anybody who super chats during that long stream that I will nickname my Nuzlocke Pokemon whatever you want. As long as it's appropriate for YouTube, I will nickname my Pokemon whatever you want for anybody who super chats during that stream. So if you see me streaming next Friday while you're playing your own copy of BDSP and you want to like toss $1 into the super chat, then I'll nickname my next Pokemon after you. Or whatever you decide you want my Pokemon to be named. I think that'd be fun. Thanks so much for checking out this video. If you want to check out more Pokemon news content, do subscribe to the channel, like and comment to help this video reach more people. Let me know if you like these news-based series, and tune in for more BDSP content and Legends Arceus when that comes around. I stream every Thursday night at 8 p.m. EST. Chat, say hello to the YouTube crowd. And yeah, I'm going to be battling against my chat in BDSP, whether that's with a battle timer or not, who knows. And I'll be playing a ton of Legends Arceus, just lots of Pokemon content on the horizon, even if things have been a little bit quiet in these past 2 weeks, just waiting for BDSP to launch. But I'm going to be streaming BDSP, and I hope that you will join me for that. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, my name is Berm. See you later.